Yo, what's up, my fellow virgins? Your boy A1 like Sauce can never take a motherfucking loss. Today we will react to the fight business as always. You feel what I'm saying? Don't even ask why. I don't got a lot of energy because I'm high as shit right now, to be honest. Yeah, but UFC 26, we got Charles Oliveira, the Bronx. You feel what I'm saying? The legend in the city, lady in three titties versus the Max Holloway.
This is exactly how Max Holloway versus Charles Oliveira 1 ended, more than a decade ago. Oliveira's legs go limp, he screams in pain, he can't walk.
Before this video go crazy, before I lock in, because I don't like pausing a lot, I'm gonna be honest, I'm so glad they fucking rematching, because this is about to be lit.
He's completely paralyzed from toe to shoulder. As
this is about to be lit, like super duper lit.
What happened? What injury was that?
I don't know, man. You know, if you're injured, show the reports, man.
You wonder if there was ever any injury at all.
He's blaming it on some type of injury.
11 years have passed since that controversy, and just when it felt like time had buried the questions surrounding that strange moment in Oliveira's career,
it's coming up.
That chapter has suddenly been reopened.
This fight is about to be really interesting because number one, you got Charles Oliveira, who's like really aggressive, and you got Max Holloway, who's real aggressive. So I actually want to hear what the fight is. I gotta say, you know what I mean? It's one of my favorite channels going. I'm kind of mad this video 9 minutes, but it's cool.
So when the first fight ended between Charles and Max, something smelled off. Not only was Charles Oliveira released from the hospital the very same day, but he also...
I'm so sorry, I'm gonna keep pausing it. Watch this nigga's shirt. When he talking about Charles, this shit gonna be Charles. When he talking about Max, this shit gonna be Max. Shit crazy.
Also fought again less than 4 months after this supposed injury.
Eu na minha cabeça pensava que eu nunca mais ia andar. Eu falei, mano, já era, não ando mais, vou ficar paraplégico e tal.
So, if the injury was really that serious, shouldn't he have needed more time to recover? Shouldn't he have stayed away from fighting a little longer?
You know, after the fight, UFC came out saying that he had no injuries. Yeah, he had no major injuries. Am I the only one that saw that right up?
If you watch the fight, you'll remember he didn't take a brutal beating or get dropped before looking for a way out. He shot for a takedown. Max Holloway defended it. He reversed the position, and that's the exact moment when DuBronx just collapsed.
He was a guy who's kind of known as a guy who fell apart.
A quitter a little bit. Yeah.
That's fucked up. This is why we love Charles, though.
Future opponents labeled Oliveira a quitter.
I would love to fight Charles Oliveira because I will show you what I'm saying. He's a quitter. You know, he is a quitter.
I looked into the medical reports, and his injury was later described as a micro tear in the esophagus. And honestly, when I looked up what that actually means, I was shocked.
Pain is severe, and there can be further consequences as stomach acid and whatnot get into the chest cavity, and a person can become very ill.
If untreated, it can even be fatal. So, yeah, it sounds incredibly serious, but at the same time, it still doesn't explain why Charles was out of the hospital the next day and back in the cage just a few months later. Well, in his particular case, the esophagus didn't fully rupture. There was no major leakage, no infection, and no internal bleeding complications. Oliveira explained that he also suffered a minor neck injury connected to a previous issue from training camp. The paralysis-like feeling he experienced could have come from a combination of nerve shock, muscle shutdown, or even a panic response.
Now, to me, that sounds completely believable. But in MMA, showing vulnerability is brutal, especially in the eyes of other fighters. Now, at just 7 years old, Charles Oliveira was diagnosed with rheumatic fever and a heart murmur, conditions that caused severe joint pain and sometimes left him unable to walk. Doctors even told him he might never walk again and could end up in a wheelchair. So, when he fought Holloway, that sudden loss of control over his body may have triggered a painful memory from his childhood, something he had spent his entire life trying to overcome. There may have been a mental shock layered on top of the physical pain, but more than anything, he most likely felt it for real. Yet, even today, Max Holloway still isn't fully convinced about what happened that night. And that doubt is exactly why this rematch carries a different kind of tension. Because this time, there are no injuries, no confusion, and no unanswered moments to hide behind.
I can't wait. You know, we have some
this shit about to get crazy.
11 years ago, so we get to go out there and finally figure it out.
And what is the unfinished business for you? Because you obviously were the winner of the first fight, even though it ended strangely.
And when a fight carries that kind of tension, that kind of history, you already know I had to lock in my picks. For UFC 326, I'm running it back with my bookie.
Yeah, buddy. Let me just, okay. Yo, the fuck?
Two battle-tested veterans prospect. So back in 2015, this was a fight ahead of its time between two unknown rising prospects. But today, it's a clash between champions, two battle-tested veterans.
Facts. Them niggas got way better.
It's 99 seconds before the injury, so there's not much data we can use for this rematch. What we can expect from Charles Oliveira, though, is what he always does. Charging forward, willingly stepping into danger, eating shots just to create openings so he can fire back with something heavier. The issue is...
Key victory charge versus steps... I'm gonna keep it a buck, in my personal opinion. His really keys to victory he's got is definitely number one, should definitely be submissions. Him charging forward, I think this fight he's not gonna really charge forward. I think he's gonna really more so exchange with Max. You gotta understand, Max, he's not throwing no fucking takedowns, my nigga. Like, let's be honest, you feel me? But let's just see what the fight has got to say.
Charles doesn't move his head all that much. He tends to march forward in straight lines, and that's exactly the kind of target someone like Max Holloway thrives on. Max gets in, lands to the head and body, and slips right back out before you can answer. So, for Holloway, speed and movement will be key. He'll need to throw his combinations quickly and circle off immediately because Oliveira has shown time and time again that he carries real power. When fight turns into wild exchanges, like we saw against Justin Gaethje or Michael Chandler, Charles can absolutely win those moments. So, Max probably shouldn't play that point-down game with Oliveira because that could definitely backfire. He needs distance, controlled entries, and smart exits while avoiding prolonged clinch situations. Because Oliveira's clinch game is vicious. If he gets Holloway tied up, those knees and short punches during breaks can do serious damage. Now, yes, Charles has legitimate one-punch knockout power, but relying on that against Holloway probably isn't the smartest plan. As we all know, Max still has that granite chin. It did get cracked by Topuria, but I mean, that's Ilia Topuria. Holloway can still take punishment, and it'll likely take more than a few clean shots to put him away. Ironically, Oliveira's aggressive, almost berserker style could play right into Max's biggest strength, volume punching. If Do Bronx keeps absorbing shot while walking forward, that accumulated damage can quickly become a serious problem.
At some point, Oliveira should need to bring this fight to the ground, or at least force more clinch and grappling
Who the fuck do he got on the shirt? Max Holloway. Come on, Blade.
exchanges. He has massively improved his
offensive
wrestling in the last few years, and he doesn't shy away from shooting and initiating grappling exchanges against the best grapplers in the world.
Against Islam Makhachev, Charles willingly brought the fight to the ground and started throwing up submissions a minute into it. He also initiated the clinch exchange against Ilia Topuria right at the start of their fight as well. In his most recent fight, he absolutely dominated Mateusz Gamrot in the grappling exchanges, and Gamrot is widely considered as one of the best wrestlers in the division. So, are we witnessing the rise of a new mythical fighter? Wrestler Oliveira, someone who can take him down just
Wrestler Oliveira, come on now, Blade. Stop disrespecting my man's game. But at the same time, that shit fire though, you man.
As he can submit
but that's
you.
crazy.
Because if he can do that to an elite grappler like Mateusz Gamrot, then doing it to Max Holloway is no longer a question of if, but when. Because Holloway has been taken down and submitted before. He's improved since then, obviously, but so is Charles. And if Oliveira closes the distance and gets the fight to the mat, even the smallest mistake, even briefly exposing his back, could spell the end for Max.
And that's the difference between Oliveira and these guys. It's like they're all
As
really
I said,
good standing up. He's really good standing up. So there's kind of like an even playing field. But when that motherfucker gets a hold of you, you're in deep danger.
Yeah.
Terrifying danger where you can't make any mistakes.
For Holloway, the path is clear. Constant movement, quick entries and exits, high volume combinations, and staying far away from prolonged clinch exchanges. And as for Oliveira, he simply cannot afford to absorb too much damage while marching forward. Accumulated punishment could compromise everything: his ability to shoot for takedowns, his durability, and even the power behind his own offense.
The lightweight division is in a weird spot right now.
You've got a clear #1 contender that for some reason can't get a title shot.
He's going to have to work his way back.
You've got an interim champion that shouldn't have the belt, and a supposed unification bout between the interim and undisputed champion that absolutely nobody's excited for.
It's no make sense even put Gaethje versus Topuria. It's just a waste of time. Eli gonna overhook him and knock him out right away.
Ilya's gonna knock that fuck out. I think Ilya knocks him out.
Get him, Gagey out of the round one type shit.
Fucking horrible matchup for Justin.
He's going to kill Justin.
Damn.
Kill him.
At least they know.
This fight right here, this rematch, 11 years in the making. This one is a matchup that nobody is complaining about. It needed to happen, and the UFC knew not to fumble this. The first time they fought, they were boys, and that fight, back in August of 2015, ended with more questions than answers.
Facts.
Today, they are men. Two men who achieved all that there is to achieve in MMA. But
fucking hyped. I'm pumped.
Between the two. And just like Max always says,
we're gonna find out come March 7th.
Damn, bleed. I'm fucking hyped, yo, real.
She fucking with the motion.